Can you let me know what your role is at the company,
Yes.
what you do, and what you're working on here?
I'm Andrew Willans. I'm a lead game designer for EVE Valkyrie, and we're here to show off our latest game update, which is called Groundrush and features a new terrain-based map called Solitude.
Can you tell me a little bit about the game for the users who don't play it, and what the game is, what this new map is, what you're trying to show off?
So Valkyrie is it's basically the ultimate space combat. It's visceral dogfighting action. It's all about recreating those classic kind of dogfight moments, you know. So although we're in space, you could equally be like a Messerschmitt versus a Spitfire over the seas of Normandy. It's that kind of epic flight chase, cat and mouse game. The thrill of the kill. There's a lot of words in there. So at its heart, it's first-person shooter-esque. It's a team-based shooter. We have different classes in there. We've got fighters, we've got heavies, which are more like tanks. We've got support class, which is more like a traditional medic class, the healer, basically. We've been out. We've just celebrated our first birthday. Woo! Happy birthday, us! So far this year, the past year, we've had 4 really kind of major game updates since we launched on Oculus Rift last year. And that's brought online a whole host of new features, new game modes, new mechanics and systems, and lots of improvements. When a game's been out for a year, you get a chance to iterate and kind of fix things and replace things that aren't working. So it's a really luxurious position to be in, to be able to do that with help from our community. And so now we're at FanFest to kind of celebrate our 5th major free game update. And that's one thing I've got again there. Everything has been free, which is Groundrush.
Can you tell me a little bit about this update? What is the map? Are there sort of new weapons? Is there changes?
Yes, I mean the big ticket item is the new map Solitude. Now all of our maps so far have been set in space, so it's all like full 360 degrees. You can go anywhere. You're not really at risk of crashing into anything because it's open space. So what we did is we always thought it would be really cool to get something which was more surface based, but to get to this point we had to do a lot of trial and error, a lot of testing and experimentation. So we started experimenting with how much structure we could put into a level, how much for gameplay, how much is suitable within the map for gameplay. And then we kind of pushed that a little bit further. We did some experimentation with horizon lines. We do a lot of barrel rolls in the game. We have a lot of intense maneuvers. And so we did some A/B testing internally with some volunteers. So, we put them in the same scenarios and different combinations with and without the horizon line, and we did notice some good results. We took those learnings. We actually ended up removing the horizon line from our training modules in the main game. We thought it was a good thing, and then we took that learning into the design of Solitude. So although it's a ground-based map, the horizon line it's quite well masked by the mountains and the structure and all of the elements which are in Solitude to mask it. So it's like fighting almost in a big canyon. I don't think we could have just done a ground-based map, let's say 6 months ago. It's taken a lot of kind of iteration and experimentation to see what works and what doesn't.
How do the spaceships, I suppose, how do they do with being on the ground? How does that work?
Well, they're not on the ground.
You're not.
Just be very clear, you don't have a set of wheels. So we're not actually in tanks. Yeah, it's just we're flying above the surface of a planet. So you're kind of flying just as normal. There's no change in the gravity. We don't use Newtonian physics. We've got carefully nuanced movements which complement a wide range of play styles. So that remains the same. The difference is we've just focused the action above the surface of the planet. So the combat zones are kind of above this secret Minmatar base that's been repurposed by Schism, and below. So you'll be fighting above, and then there's some vents which lead into a series of underground tunnels, and that then takes the action underground.
So you balance out the map a little bit more. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're constantly doing that. We'll look at player data, we'll look at heat maps, we'll see and experience ourselves, because we play the game ourselves all the time, where the choke points are. So is an area within a map a choke point because we want it to be like a focus for combat, or is it something where people are getting into these furballs, and so we put things in the map to break that up. So we constantly iterate. For us, a map which might have been out for 6 months, it can still be iterated on, to make it more exciting, or to use some of the learnings that we find from continuing playing the game and doing more research. And that happens with everything. It's the beauty of being a live game. We're not afraid to move things around, basically, and continually keep on top of what matters for gameplay.
Can you tell me about what CCP wants to do with VR and what the future looks like?
Future's looking really good for VR, I would say, because there's an incredible investment in there from CCP. They're invested in all different kinds of VR, whether it's seated, whether it's mobile, or whether it's room scale kind of stood up, basically V Sports, as you've seen with Spark. So yeah, I think it's going to go from strength to strength, and I can't think of a company we'd be working for right now in the games industry that is as invested in VR as CCP is right now. And in terms of the technology, it's every day I sit down with my coffee and I'm reading about something more and more incredible to come out of some lab in some country somewhere where the guy's got a glove and it's doing force feedback on every finger, and I'm like, oh my God, we're getting closer and closer to the holodeck. And I think it's really exciting to be designing at this time, because we don't even have like a default interface for VR yet. So we've got touch, we've got the Move controllers, we've got the Vive ones. That's just what we have right now. What are we going to have in 6 months' time? Is it going to be a glove? Is it just going to be a camera that maps everything? We just we're kind of on the cusp of another generation of VR, and well, that's pretty exciting.
I look forward to hearing and seeing what you guys will do. As a tagline, we fight together, we die together.
Fly together, die together?
Die together.
That's one of our taglines.
Okay,
yeah.
like as a VR thing, it would be like, create together, die together.
yeah. Don't worry, you get reborn. It's okay.
It's
all
fine.
right.
You die several
And you
times.
don't buy our ships, so you're not losing money when you die. Because I know in EVE Online, if you lose a ship, that's whoa. That's like wow.
Man, that's
no, I was regenerate. We've got new technology.
Okay, where can our viewers find more information about the game and our update and
head to our website, I would say. Yeah, head to EVE Valkyrie website and hit the forums as well and let us know what you think on the forums. That would be cool.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please go to VRFocus.com if you want to find out any more information about VR news, and go to their website to find out more about regenerating and dying.